now we move on to our review of Doctor Strange slash The Punisher Magic Bullets.
That
Tim, I
is
know you like to start us
right.
off with the credits, so will you do so, sir?
I would be more than happy to, Sonny. Absolutely. So, while Jamie types away, credits for Doctor Strange slash The Punisher Magic Bullets go to writing is John Barber, artwork is Andrea Broccardo, and Dominique Damo Stanton, if I read that right. Colors are to Andres Mosa, and letters are to VC's Clayton Cowles.
Guys, I will get us started. Okay, so we know if you regular comic book wise, this is 4 issues. If you go on Marvel Unlimited app, it tells you that it's 8. So my reading experience is a bit different from Jamie's.
Yeah, okay, real fast, so we could go back just a bit. The day you called me and you're like, you told me this was 4 issues. This is 8. You're lying. I was like, because it's digital. When it came out digital, it was 8, but they put it in 4 issue for actual press. And that was just the funniest thing ever. You're like, I think I'm gonna need another week.
Need another one. And then last week we couldn't do it. You guys down. Now glad that we're all feeling better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was down and out. I'm still hurting.
Well, something's apparently wrong with me since I got one of those goose eggs on our Do You Know this episode. Okay.
My brain don't work right.
Oh my God.
Now we move on to the review. So Doctor Strange, The Punisher, Magic Bullets. We start the story off, both characters going out their normal lives. The Punisher dealing with mobsters, and after killing a bunch, he leaves one alive by the name of Bon Frisco. And Doctor Strange, we know that Doctor Strange doesn't have as much power anymore, and he's using an axe. And suddenly he gets an unwanted visitor, and it is the Punisher. And the Punisher is telling Doctor Strange, "Hey, I need help. You're gonna want to help with this. Who does he say? I think he said, if you won't help me, I'll go to Brother Voodoo." And I believe that's his name. And then Doctor Strange says, "Okay, I'll help you," and they agree. So they go. So there were these mobsters, right? Lucretia and Livio Fusilli, and they have gotten Prentice Mangrove to help them. They want to take over, right? They're mobsters. They want to take over this family and have the power. So Mangrove brings in a bunch of monsters, help them out, and he even turns the Fusilli the Fusilli siblings into monsters themselves with a lot of powers. So the Punisher and Doctor Strange go to stop them. We have a lot of action, a lot of violence, and they're going. And eventually, I don't want to go for detail, but as the Punisher and Doctor Strange are going at them, they see these monsters, and quickly most would think that the Punisher's just going to kill them, and he's the one who says, "Wait a minute, no, these are family, they're monsters." Just because they were a different, something along the lines of, just because they were a different skin doesn't mean they're not people. They're still families, and they're caught in a crossfire. So that definitely makes the Punisher take it to heart, because he said their family's caught in a crossfire. And that's how he lost his family. And we get that. So then they said, "Okay, we're going to help. We're going to take down Mangrove and the Fusillis." There's a lot of action. One thing I'd really like to is the team up of the Punisher and Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has his humor, and the Punisher says supernatural nonsense or magic nonsense
the whole time.
Like the most unlikely team up ever.
Yes, but a good one that I really enjoy. And then they said they got Bon Frisco, who is like this little weasel basically, and he's trying to get away, but they no, don't think you're going to get away. And the Punisher reminds him multiple times, "I'm still going to get you. We're using it to help out, but I'm going to come back and get you."
Yeah.
And then eventually one of the things they do use is that magic, that plane.
The ghost plane.
The ghost plane from the Phantom Eagle. And I liked the Phantom Eagle story. When they went over here, so I was like, "Oh, wow, that's an interesting character. I like it." And it was interesting that the Punisher even ends up having to use the plane. And he has a bit of a heart-to-heart with it. Like, come on, you helped this guy. And he and I were alike. We're both, we've lost family members, and we're avenging them. And Mangrove turns out to not only be that Mangrove doesn't care to help out the Fusillis. He just wants to get his monsters, take over, and he's also a racist.
Yes.
Did he make him at times? I'm like, "Oh wow, this guy, he's a racist. He's like, wipe out, make things clean and whatever, all that nonsense." But for me, I don't want to give away the ending, but I thought that Doctor Strange, the Punisher, Magic Bullets was a story that was very fun. It had a lot of fun and it had a lot of heart. And
Mhm.
I really enjoyed reading it. I thought the artwork was good. So maybe around 8. The story, like I said, it was fun and it can get everybody kind of involved in it, but it also had a lot of parts and like it had heart. Where I give that a 10. So for me, I give Doctor Strange / The Punisher Magic Bullets a 9.1 out of 10.
0.1.
It was so good, he just didn't want to be a 9.
I give it an extra 0.1. So I really enjoyed it.
So wait, did you give the 8 for the art and then the 10 for the writing?
10 for the writing.
Okay.
And then the 0.1 just because I really like it.
Right on.
And I want to give it an extra point.
The little
Jamie, since
Yes.
you chose this one, do you want me to go over mine first, or you want?
Yeah, go over yours and then I'll be last like we normally do. The person who picks the book is normally last.
Gotcha. Okay, so with Doctor Strange and the Punisher Magic Bullets, I had a good time reading this, though it became frustrating for me at first because I wasn't aware it was a digital comic, but that went away really quick. And I really ended up enjoying the storyboarding of a motion digital comic. It made it very cinematic for me. And it made me more immersed into the story as it went on. So that was a part that I really enjoyed, that they did everything like that and you had to follow each panel. I enjoyed that a lot. The thing that I did not enjoy was the surprise switch of artists on like the second or third issue, and then they would go back and forth for the rest of the series. That pulls me out. That drove me bananas. I hated that. But it was interesting to see Doctor Strange without access to his spells or any of his powers and any of the Sorcerer Supreme type stuff. And it was very grounded, but completely in Doctor Strange's element alongside the Punisher. Like at first there was friction, but the more the series progressed, the more them two came together and really made a good team. The Punisher didn't stray too far from the norm, and he was our human element in the story. Both characters had equal time in the spotlight, but it was more of a Punisher story than I think it was a Doctor Strange story. Doctor Strange was a great supporting character, but I think the star of this miniseries was the Punisher. All in all, solid storytelling. Artwork was solid, but did not like the shift to another artist in the middle of the story. So artwork gets a 7 out of 10 from me, which is not a bad grade, guys. 7 is pretty solid. Yep. And writing gets a 7.5 out of 10. So an overall grade from me is a 7.25 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I had a good time reading it.
Okay. Well, real fast, I'm just going to say that if you did a little bit of research on why that issue flip kept happening, is because one was more towards when majority of the time went to Strange and one was majority of the time that went to the Punisher. And I enjoyed that aspect actually, because then you got two different sides of the same coin, but viewed in two different ways.
I've noticed other comic series are doing that more now.
Yeah. So like
when they,
so say it's like Batman, Superman, you get one perspective from the artist from Batman and the other perspective from the artist of Superman. So that way you always have that same feel and look, but in a different perspective.
Well,
and that's what they did here.
Yeah. I was unaware of that while that was going on, but it makes total sense now. So
right. So with that aspect, you guys already covered the book basically, which was great. With that aspect, my rating overall, writing, I give an 8. And with art, because of that little flip flop, I give it 8.5. So my overall actually is 8.3.
8.3. Okay. This is the most wide range of grades we've had on a book, I think, since I've come on the show.
No,
I don't think it's been this wide, because I'm at 7.25.
We had
8.3. Sonny's at 9.
No, we had one totally way out of the ordinary, because remember we had that whole discussion about this is why we do this and we have opinions.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what issue it was though. I know, Jamie, I know what you're talking about. I'm just trying to remember the issue.
Was it Edge of Venomverse?
No, Venomverse me and you were okay with. Sonny was the only one that was different.
I'm trying to remember which one was it.
I'm looking.
Superman? I don't know. Let Jamie figure it out.
Exo Man of War, maybe?
Exo Man of
Yes.
War? Was it that?
Yes, because remember I hated that book and you gave it like a 7 or something.
I
Tim,
really like.
and he gave it like a 9.7. I gave it like
Okay.
a 4.
Okay, so
was
Doctor
XO.
Strange and Punisher Magic Bullets falls right in line with how completely different our opinions are, just like with Exo Man of War #1. That's interesting.
But
That's
one thing I would say is that we all did enjoy this. Whereas Jamie, you said you didn't enjoy Exo Man
Yes.
War.
Yes.
We all did enjoy this.
We all found aspects of it that we enjoyed. Where
yeah.
that one, aside from making fun of Sonny trying to frolic through some leaves with a wizard casting spells, Harry, that's the only thing that I came to have enjoyment out of.
Well, that's great though, because like the completely different range of numbers that we all gave it, but we still found great enjoyment out of this series. Like all of us came out of this series really enjoying what we read.
Right.
That's
one part
cool.
before I get on to my next pick, I really liked in the story was one part Doctor Strange gave Punisher like the wand and he said chains.
This ain't
it
one
doesn't
like
work.
you get.
And he just breaks it and stabs us. Hey, got to use it in some way. I'm like, that's a good team up. That's good.
What do you say?
There.
This wand doesn't pick you.
Yeah, it's not like other things where the wand picks you.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right,
Great
good
time.
deal. Yeah, absolutely.
Good times. Okay.